Hi, my name is Sunil and I have 18 years of experience in IT industry, and in the overall 18 years of experience, in the last 5 years I am working on the DevOps practices. So I have enjoyed various roles in the organization, from the software developer engineer to the system manager to the system architect, and from that various roles and backgrounds I have a very good and exciting opportunity which is coming with the DevOps. So we are going to talk about DevOps, which is the new trend in coming in the industry. Basically with this trend you will have a lot of opportunity into different areas. Let's see the opportunities, let's see the trend, and let's see whole new world of IT industry with the lens of DevOps. Let's start with the world of DevOps, and in this we will try to understand what is basically a DevOps practices, and which will help you to get more and more understanding of the DevOps and the technology. So DevOps is not going with the one thing, it has a combination of many things, and we need to understand the combination. So let's begin with the main and core function of the DevOps. Basically, when a company comes, the main objective of the company is to get the code developed, and the code should be get developed and it should be go into the market as quick as possible. So we say it is a production. So where production means that you will sell your product, or software company will sell the product in the market and they will get the real money. Now the company wants that this should be within a short span of time, and we will say it is like a delivery. Now once we deliver the product, the customer will use that software as a product, and what he will do, he will try to use the product. Now once he started using the product, he will enjoy the product, and in the meantime if he finds any good things, he can suggest back and he can give a feedback, and that feedback is go back to the stuff. Now this feedback is very important. Now feedback has a couple of factors. Number one, it can be an enhancement, it can be a bug fix, or it can be a new feature. Now this feedback should go to the developer as quick as possible. So we will say is a developer, and when it develops the product, it should go to the delivery as far as possible, which becomes as operation side. Now we have seen a very simplistic model of the DevOps. Now let's go and deep down and understand what are the different phases available for the stuff. Now when we write the code, we will go and have the code into the repository. So either you can use a Git, or you can use SVN, or you can use many other tools. Commercially you have the P4 or Perforce, and you can use a lot of stuff there. Now developers will go and add their code into the stuff. So I can say development 1, developer 2, developer 3, and they will keep on adding their code. Now this code, let's say an example, let's say you are in the software development company. In that company you have various levels of game. We can take an example of Temple Run or Candy Crush. So with the Temple Run you have various levels of the game. So we can say developer 1 is developing the level 1, developer 3 is like a level 2, and having a level 3. There may be 1,000 levels. Now what is a product? Product is not the product which is created by the developer 1, 2 and 3, but it is a combination of all the developers, and we say when we do the combination we say integration, or we can have a better symbol, we have integration. Now with this integration, what we are going to do? We are going to combine the code developed by developer 1, 2 and 3 from all the levels, and we will create the complete game. Now this complete game we are saying as a continuous integration. So here comes the picture CI. Now continuous integration has many tools inside that. As we talked about, the number one tool is the Git. There is a tool called as a Jenkins or Hudson. So this is the number 2. In that you have the various combinations of script. You can use either Ant, or you can use Maven if it is a Java development code, and you can go with that. Once you have this code, once you have the code availability, what you will do, you will transfer this code to the next level, which is the testing phase. So, there your code will go in the test phase. Once it complete the test phase, then it will go for the final stage. We can say it is a pre-production, and then it will go to the production. Okay, but when we are delivering the things are going in a systematic manner, and the output of this whole stuff we call as artifacts. Now, what is artifacts? So, artifacts is your code, artifacts is your document, artifacts is your configuration, artifacts is your environment. So, whole thing you will go and you will go with the stuff. Now, in real time, when you go and do the testing or something, developer is developing the things on the laptop. Now, individual laptops then go on the test server, and they become the two layer architects. One is the web server and one is the database. So, we can say it is a two tier architect. Once we have this two tier architect, it will go further and it will go into the pre-production. It may have 5 layers. So, it is a load balancer, it is a web layer, W1, W2, we have caching layer C1, C2, and again we have database layer DB1 and DB2 and so on. So, we have a complex structure. So, we say it is going from the one system to 2 system to 5 system. In real time it will go to the 100 systems, and to manage this 100 system with the manual person is not. In real time, when we are supporting the customers, we are supporting nearly 18,000 servers, and supporting the 18,000 servers manually is a very tedious task. So, you need to kick in some kind of automation, and what automation you will bring? You will use the tools such as Vagrant, or you will use like a Docker. So, these tools you will get introduced, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 and so on. So, these are the tools which we are going to have in our whole syllabus. That means getting the code from the developer and putting into the production. Now, this phase should be all automatic. This phase should be all automatic. What does automation means? Is getting the code from the developer, testing it automatically, going into the production and going into the last stage of a delivery. Now, there are a couple of things. We say continuous integration and continuous delivery. Or a deployment. Now, we will understand these various phases and we will go in the more deep down. Now, let us understand the different phases, how the product will go. Your product will go from the development, which will you do a continuous integration. Now, what is the role and responsibility of a DevOps engineer? That is a very important aspect, and these questions keep on coming. The important aspect of DevOps, that he has to deliver and make sure that the things are moving smoothly. Let us see what is that. So, let us first talk about what is a continuous delivery. So, let us go and see that delivery. Now, delivery means you are moving your product from one environment to the other environment. Now, there are a lot of environments available: QA environment, test environment, integration test environment, pre-production environment and production environment. Now, you are delivering your product from one environment to the other environment. So, what are you giving? You are giving the code. That is the first thing you will deliver, which is you are done by the programmer. Then you will give the configuration. That is the second piece you will deliver. Third piece, you will give the environmental factor. That is, if your Tomcat is running on 8080, it may be running in the port number 80 on the production server. So, that is the environmental changes what we are talking about. Talking about the number of systems in the environment. Let us say QA may have using 2 systems, test may have using 5 system, integration test may have using 10 system, 15 system, and in real time it will go to the 200 system. That is what we are talking about. So, we are talking about the environment where there are environment changes. The third factor we saw, and the fourth factor is your documentation. Now, this is also one of the important aspects, because you will not write the document by yourself, but you will deploy some tools which will automatically generate the document and pass on the documents from one level to other level. And this is what is the beauty of the DevOps. And the tools which you are going to use, there are a couple of them from the various sections. First is the Git. Second, we are talking about Jenkins. Third, the part is of a Chef or a Puppet. Or you can say Ansible, you can go with that. And you can also talk about the Vagrant, which is the quick virtualization part, and then we will also talk about thin virtualization, which is about the Docker. And combinations of all tools, you are generating a word which called as automation. And you are building automation on each and every layer. Now, to get the automation in our course, we are also giving a training on the infrastructure side. Now, what is on the infrastructure side? Let's go and see that. On the infrastructure side, we will go and we will work on the web server. We will also educate you on the database server. We will also teach you on the monitoring side. And when we are going to go with all the stuff, we are also teaching you about scripting. So, we are going to teach you about scripting. So, now looking at these all factors, looking at these all tools, you have tremendous opportunity in market. Now, what is that opportunity? So, you are not only competing for the one position, and what the competition is now, you are competing with many peoples. So, when you are competing with many peoples, we are going to talk about the areas where you go and fit. Number one, you are a script writer. That is the number one thing. Secondly, you are a Linux administrator. Third thing, you are a web layer administration. You can go for the database administration. And once you have the combination, you can also go and approach for certain technologies like Hadoop and so on. So, you can have various fields where you can go and apply for the jobs. So, there are a lot of value in the DevOps training. It has a combination of many tools, it has a combination of many faculties, it is a combination of knowledge on many areas. So, your job is going to be at a very far scale. Now, as we discussed, it is of the two parts, one is the development part and one is on the operation part. In literal meaning, on the development part, you do not have to write Java code or you do not have to write C++ code. Basically, you want to write the code to do the automation, and again we are coming back to the automation and again because DevOps is the automation. Now, with this automation, you are doing two things for the organization. Number one, you are saving the time of the organization. Number two, you are saving money of the organization, because time is money. And number three, you are doing the automation, that means you are doing the same work but in a different way. So, it is not that means you are losing your job, but you are getting better and better opportunities. Now, let us understand where we use this DevOps. We use this DevOps in many areas. So, we use the DevOps in the data centers, that is maybe a private data center, public data center. We use this DevOps in the cloud. It can be any kind of cloud, a public cloud or private cloud. You can use AWS, you can use Azure, you can use Google Cloud, you can use Software Cloud, you can, if you want to go to the private cloud, you can go with the OpenStack, you can go with the Eucalyptus, and lot of stuff. So DevOps is used everywhere. It is now the day in day out work of the organization. Steadily organization moving to hire the more and more DevOps. Why? Because they are getting one person with many roles and many skill sets. Let us say an example, if you go in the market, if you want to buy a mobile phone, how will you buy a mobile phone? You will say, I want the screen should be the high resolution, I want the battery life should be good, it should be the beautiful RAM, it has lot of CPUs, and if you give all the things to the organization, you are get hired immediately in the organization, which is why we are recommending you to join the DevOps course. And DevOps course will definitely will help you to get better and better career. Now let's go and try to understand the last part of the things. We will talk about the continuous deployment. So we talked about continuous integration, we talked about the delivery. Now the last mile of the production, when the product is going from the pre-production to production, it is called as continuous deployment. And let's go towards our section of the deployment and try to see that where is we can go with the deployment part. So deployment is going from here to here, and the companies which are using this kind of deployment are Google or Facebook. Now did you see that Facebook is down? No. Did you see the Google is down or Gmail is down? No. Why? Because they have a beautiful combinations of DevOps. They will go with the continuous integration and they will also go with the continuous delivery. That means their server will never go off. Those servers are available with the capacity of 24/7, 365 days, and that is what is the target of the DevOps. Your server should never go down. Even though it goes down, you have a cluster, it should be automatically fail over. Let us take an example of Flipkart. Now this Flipkart, let us say they have a sale, and what they are doing in the sale? They are announcing that they will give huge discount. Now in the morning, let us say they have 10,000 customers. With that 10,000 customers, what happens? They have, let us say, 3 servers, and it is working with that. But at 1 o'clock, what happens? Instead of 10,000 people, there are 50,000 customers started login. So what happens? If you have only 3 servers, you will not able to survive. So here comes the part called as auto scaling. Okay. So auto scaling is what? Automatically your infrastructure start growing, and how it will go? Using this all automations tool. So what happens? At 1 o'clock, if we have huge rush of customers, automatically new machines will start getting into your environment. Originally you have, but now you started adding these machines. How many machines you can add? Depend on your infrastructure, and you can do the spillover. Spillover means you can grow with your infrastructure not only in your own private data center, but automatically you can start spinning the server into the cloud, and that way you can literally have 10,000 machines available for your work, and this is what the people will go. The number of customers are getting increased, automatically the number of servers will go on and on and on. In the midnight 12 o'clock, the sale is done. Then what happens? The people will started logging out. That means the number of customers will start reducing, and again the automation comes into picture. Automatically these machines will get destroyed. Automatically these servers will get destroyed, and you will have automatically will come back to the normal position. That means you started with 3 servers as an example, you will come back to the 3 servers. So that way you will give a beautiful experience to the customer. You can handle large customer volume, and you can do more and more better way with the automation. So this is the power you will get with the DevOps. You can work with the automation, you can work with the product life cycle, and you will able to go from the development aspect, quality aspect, test, integration test, pre-production and production. So, this is the complete DevOps life cycle. Now, you will ask what is the qualification needed to do these things. I will say if you are any graduate, definitely you can jump in this wagon. Now, only you need to have one thing, that means you need to have that zest to learn some new technology. If you have that kind of zest, any graduate can come to this course and join the course. We are teaching you from the scratch. We will go from the basics of the Linux operating system, we will go with the scripting, we will go with the automations of these tools, and we will also talk about the infrastructure automation. This whole thing we are going to cover. The duration of the course is 45 days. In that we will also introduce you with the real time project. That means whatever happening in industry, we will have those projects with you, we will work with those products, and you will have the real time experience in your hand. So, thanks for joining for this DevOps introduction. Hope you understood the concept behind the DevOps and the terminologies and technologies behind the DevOps. For any information, please contact us. Thanks for all your time.